All right, next, let's talk about two other ways you can post assignments or post ways to interact with your students. And that is using the quiz feature and the question feature. So let's go first to the quiz. So you're going to go to create. This is the button you need always to add something. You're going to do a quiz assignment. Now we'll title it. All right, I'm going to title it Quiz Macbeth. All right, I'm going to put my instructions here. You will complete this quiz after we read Acts 1 through 3. You may use your notes. All right. Now, grade importing means that once it's scored, the students will automatically get their grades both in Google Classroom and they'll be able to see it in the Google quiz itself. If your school uses Chromebooks, you can also turn locked on mode for Chromebooks. That prevents your students from being able to access other tabs while they're doing it, but that is only available in Chromebooks. Okay. And you can still attach resources. If you want the students to have access to notes or a study guide while doing it, you can attach it from your drive. Or maybe you want them to watch a video version of Macbeth Act 1 and then take a quiz. You could do that also. Alrighty. So what we're going to do is we're going to click here on blank quiz. And it's going to open up this form. Okay. So I'm going to name the quiz Macbeth Acts 1-3. Right now, it's automatically collecting the students' email accounts because we're part of a school system that uses Google. You can change it so it doesn't collect. But what you'll do is you'll type in each of your questions. So my first question is going to be, who do the witches say will be the future king? All right, not a great question, but it works okay. So I'm going to say Macbeth, Duncan, Donalbain, and Stewart. Okay. Now I'm going to hit the answer key. I'm going to click answer key, and I'm going to say that Macbeth is the correct answer, and I'm going to change it to 1 point. So I can make some questions worth 1 point, some questions worth 3 points if they necessary. Alrighty. And then I'm going to add my next question. So I'm going to press add question, and I have options. I can do multiple choice, paragraph, short answer, linear scale. Now, a couple words of caution. So, with short answer and paragraph responses, if it's multiple choice, the system will grade it for you. If it is paragraph or short response, you'll have to go into the system and grade it yourself. So once you get responses, you'll be able to click on each student and grade their short response and paragraph. If it's all multiple choice, then it'll just grade it all itself. Okay. So once I'm done with the quiz, I'm just going to move on and say, okay, I'm done with the quiz. It's great. Title this also Macbeth X 1-3. Okay. All right, so all that's done. Now my quiz is here. I'm going to set it as due on the 24th. All right. Notice that you also have time options. So if I want to do it 11:59 p.m. on the 24th, I can do that. And I'm going to place it under my Unit 1 Macbeth. Okay. And let's press assign. So I'm going to go to Unit 1 Macbeth. I've got a quiz there. I'm going to look at my quiz. So right now it's not assigned to any individual students, but I can, blah, blah, Macbeth. I can submit my quiz. All right. I can view my score. There was only one question created and one question blank. So obviously they earned no points for that one. So make sure you don't leave a blank question. And it shows their total at the top. They earned 1 out of 2 points. So when it's doing this point system, it's going to do you points earned. So if you have 10 questions, you might want to make them worth each 10 points. or you may want to have 20 questions, each worth 5 points. So that way it kind of adds up to 100. If you only do the questions as 1 point each, it'll just be 1 point out of 2. So it's a 50, but they don't really always be able to convert that easily, the students sometimes. All right, let's look at one more thing you can do, and that is we are going to create a question. So I'm going to ask my question. How responsible is Macbeth for what happens in the play? All right, this is going to be a short answer. All right, and this is going to be ungraded. I just want the students to share some ideas with me. Still going to have a due date. We're going to have it by the 24th. We're going to have a discussion on the 25th. I'm going to change the topic to Macbeth. All right, move this over here. Over here, students can reply to each other. Students can edit their answers. So edit means they're allowed to go back in and make changes. That's up to you. It means that like if they wrote something and then someone made a comment, they made a mistake, they can go back and fix it. But if you want to be able to keep whatever they've said, don't give them that option. Students can reply to each other. That will allow the students to be able to comment to each other. Okay. So my instructions are going to be answer in several well-written sentences. Refer to at least 2 specific details from the play to support your answer. By the due date, please respond to at least one peer. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to ask that question. Now, if I look under Macbeth, there's the question right there. How responsible is Macbeth? And students will be able to answer the question. Okay, and their answers will appear. Okay, it'll kind of appear like a stream of comments. All right, that is it for those two. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll be glad to help.